Hi, welcome back to my channel. This week we're going to do pottery. Unfortunately, I didn't get the Viking finished this week. I had a split in my thumb, which did not allow me to finish it. So tune in next week to see the finished product. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to do some pottery. Maybe glazing, maybe throwing. I am going to load the kiln on Saturday. It's going to get above freezing. So in the meantime, I am going to sit here with some of my pottery pieces and my glazing book, which I have a lot of my glazes that I've done in the past that I like to use, and decide what I am going to put on some of these pieces. I will be sitting here having a cold brew. I love cold brew. And looking through my book and deciding what I am going to do. See you soon. This is going to be a combination I got from Dark Star Pottery's YouTube channel this week. And she said she was inspired by Sarah Walton. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to do Amico Honey Flux 2 times, inside and out. And then we are going to do 2 thick bands of eggplant. That's Mako eggplant. And she did specify thick, so I think I'm actually going to do 3 times. And then we're going to put river birch over the eggplant, and I'm going to go down further too. So that's what we're getting ready to do. There's my first coat of honey flux. My honey flux is very thick. And my brush fell apart. I'm gonna have to glue that back on there. I got it stuffed back on there for now, but we'll let that first coat dry, and we'll put the second one on. Okay, we're gonna change this up just slightly because I watched Sarah Walton's YouTube channel. We're gonna do 3. Right now, we're gonna do 3 eggplants. I'm only doing 1. I only did 1 honey flux inside and out, and now I'm gonna do 3 eggplants. This is our first coat of eggplant, and as you can see, I had a whoopsie there, which I'm getting ready to wipe that off. Okay, whoopsie is wiped off. And I also want to mention that Sarah said if she was to do this combination again, she would put a band of light flux or here. So after I put the other 2 coats of eggplant on, I am going to do, and then put the river birch over the top of that, which is actually just 1 river birch over the top of the, and I don't think she had it on the eggplant. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at that again. But I am going to put some light flux, a band of light flux around here to help it run a bit. There's that second coat of eggplant, and I did watch Sarah's video again, and after the 3rd coat of eggplant, she puts on 3 coats of river birch. She puts the first 2 to about here, and then I'm going to copy her and put the last all the way almost to the bottom, and then a little strip of light flux around the where the 2 meet. So this is the 3 times of the eggplant on here, and now I'm getting ready to put my first coat of river birch on. I am going to do 3 to 4 coats of Amico mulberry on this little Ohio glass. I went ahead and put another coat of honey flux inside. I thought 1 coat would be too light for that. Got the first coat of river birch on the outside, waiting for that to dry. Got the first coat of the mulberry on the Ohio cup, and waiting for that to dry. I have the 3rd coat of the river birch to about here, and then I put just a line of light flux around here. We shall see how it goes. Now I'm going to finish up the mulberry on the Ohio cup. 2 coats of the mulberry so far inside and out. I'll do 1 more coat and we'll decide whether we're going to do 4 or not. I don't know how stable the Amico Mulberry Celadon is. Probably pretty stable. But I'll decide what I'm going to do, 3 or 4 coats. Just an FYI, these are the 1, 2, 3 carved faces that I want to get glazed tomorrow to put in this kiln load, which I'm hoping is going to be a glaze load, and then this one over here. So I've got to decide what I'm putting on the carved pieces. All right, this is the mulberry. I decided on 3 coats. So we'll let that dry, and tomorrow we'll work on the some other stuff. I definitely want to do, I have a mug I want to do peppered plum on, so we'll work on that tomorrow. 3 coats of the mulberry. This is drying now. Now I'm going to, I put Mako black underglaze in the carving. And now I'm going to use some Celadon. Pear is the lightest. Well, I've got snow too, which we'll see. But I'm going to put my first coat of pear on here. I'm going to do obsidian inside. But I'm thinking 2 coats of pear, maybe 3. I'll let you know. And then I'm going to probably do a red undercoat. And I don't know on which one of these. I think red would look nice on here. And then put the snow, which is a Celadon, over the top of it. But if I do that, I'm going to go ahead and paint it on and then wipe it back. So I'll let you know. 1 coat of Amico pear over the top of the Mako underglaze. The vase with the 2 coats of obsidian inside of it. And the pear on the outside with the black underglaze in the design. So as I agonize over what I'm going to do with these carved pieces, my coyote underglaze, the red, was dried out quite a bit. I added water. I probably should have added distilled water, but I didn't, so I'm a little bit afraid. But I'm going to go ahead and paint it on this one, and then I'm going to wipe it off, and I am going to use the Amico Snow over the top of it. So that'll be pretty if it turns out. Okay, here we go. I got the red painted in there. I did a second coat on the birds around the top. Maybe it'll make them even redder. I don't know. So after this dries, I'll give it an hour or so to dry, and then I'll come and then I'll use my sponge and wipe it back. And then I'll put the Amico Snow, which is a Celadon, also over the top. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to use a red inside the vase. See you soon. Here we have a large bowl that I'm going to do in the fog combination, which is off of the idea. The inspiration for this is from Healing Earth Ceramics. I do not know the gentleman's name from that YouTube channel, Healing Earth Ceramics. So I have got the 2 times honey flex inside and out. I haven't decided what I'm going to do on the inside of the bowl. It seems to me when you do on the inside of a bowl, you get that uneven flow, so I don't know. So I'm going to definitely do the outside of the bowl, and what we're doing right now is we're going to do 2 bands of iron luster here and here, 2 thick bands of iron luster, and then let that dry, and then we'll put another coat, a thin coat of iron luster over the top of that. If I decide to do the inside the same way, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do a band of iron luster here and a band of iron luster here, and then iron luster all over, and we'll just see how well it flows. It's our first band. There's the second band of iron luster. Let me show that to you. There's the 2 bands of iron luster. We're going to let that dry, and then we're going to put 1 thin coat of iron luster over the whole thing on the outside. All right, I'm going to put a band and along the rim. This is the iron luster. Again, I don't know if I'm going to do another one further down. I'm still deciding. Oh, this one. I'm going to put that light flux on the rim, I believe, to give it a little bit more movement on the outside at the upper part of it. We'll see. I might just do a wavy band about halfway down. Alrighty. Yeah, maybe right about here. I'm gonna put just hopefully a thin band. Hopefully this won't run. Off my brush. Not sure how thick I should make it. But I know it's going to run down. But if I do another one further down, like right around in here, then it's just going to get crappy at the bottom and just pull up. So I think that's where we're going to stick for the inside. I might do another coat. While we're waiting for that to dry, I'm going to take this over to the sink and try to get rid of these smears of the red, and then I am going to paint this one with the Celadon Snow, the Amico Snow. So let me go get rid of those smears. All right, I wiped it back, and if I'm being honest, not all that impressed. I don't know if I'll try this wiping back technique. Anyway, we'll let that dry a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and put the snow on there and see what happens. 1 light coat of the iron luster all the way around the inside and the outside. I think I'm going to leave the bottom with the honey flux. Maybe just a smidge. I don't want any bare spots, but yeah, I didn't leave it plain. There's a bare spot. Okay, now for the outside. Light, 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 light. I'm not going all the way down to the bottom here. I don't want this to run off and have to grind it. So we'll see how that, maybe just a smidge, like the bottom in there. Just a smidge. kind of sporadic. The name of the combination, or what they call this one, is fog, I believe. So, hey, you know, fog is sporadic. And I don't want too much on there. And I don't want it to run off. And I am going to put a little bit of light flux around the top. A little light flux around the top, the rim, both on the inside and the outside, just for a little more flowing power. Oop, that was... Woo! That almost got away from me. All right, there it is, around the inside and the outside. And unfortunately, I'm not going to run the kiln until Monday morning. So you will not see the results of the various things that I'm glazing in this video until next week's video. So stay tuned for the exciting conclusion. All right, here we go. Amico Snow, which is also a Celadon, is going to go over the top of this vase, which we had the coyote red underglaze in the carving. There is the first coat of the Snow Celadon. Let that dry and come back and put the second coat on, and I'm going to put a red inside. This bowl, I'm going to do 3 coats of peppered plum on the outside, and I'm going to do white on the inside. Of course, you can't really see in there in this vase, but that's 2 coats of candy apple red, stroke and coat candy apple red in there. Actually, it's probably a lot more than that because I poured it in, getting toward the end of the bottle, and I let it all drip in there, and I actually had to mop out some of it. So that's candy apple red in there. I only did 2 coats of the peppered plum, and then I did 2 coats of the coyote white liner glaze for this little peppered plum bowl. Definitely come back next week. I had some additional pots that I glazed. I had room in the kiln. So we have, this is a birch and cordovan. I'm going to put light flux around the outside. And we also had another peppered plum in the winter wood. And I think I might have room for one more, and I believe I'm going to do that vase back there as no, I have a drinking glass. I'm going to do it as a Lone Star.